Almost 1 year after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, we still have almost no information on the would-be assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks. The information we do have raises more questions than it does answers. The attack itself was either a massive security failure by the Secret Service or an inside job. Crooks was able to get himself and a backpack with a disassembled AR-15 and a rangefinder into the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. He was seen using the rangefinder 45 minutes before the shooting. He climbed on an air conditioner and onto the roof of a building that was deemed too steep to position agents on by the head of the Secret Service, a building that was only 130 yards from where the president was speaking. To point out how ridiculously close 130 yards is, a full-powered rifle cartridge like a 30-06 or a 7.62 by 54 or a 303 has an effective range of about 900 yards. An intermediate rifle cartridge like a 30-30 or a 7.62 by 39, like an AK round, has an effective range of about 330 yards. So this building is well within the range of any rifle. Not just within the range, but in a very close range. Crooks was seen on the roof by the Secret Service 20 minutes before the first shot rang out, and they did nothing. He then assembled his rifle and was seen by bystanders who alerted the police of a man on the roof with a gun before pulling the trigger.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Where? Right there, see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Officer, people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals.
He's
We
on
have
the roof. He's
drug
right.
dealers. We have people that
Right
should
here,
not be here.
right on the roof.
It's much
He's
tougher
getting
than
up now.
it happens.
He went right on the roof.
Why did the police and Secret Service do nothing to protect the president, even with multiple warnings well ahead of time? When looking at pictures of the rally, it's easy to see that the roof Crooks managed to climb on top of is the best vantage point to take a shot at the stage the president was speaking. Why was this roof not monitored more closely if agents couldn't be positioned on it? When the police arrived at Crooks' parents' house the evening of the shooting, his father answered the door and asked, "Is it true?" This is almost 24 hours before it was reported to the media that Crooks was the shooter, and allegedly the first contact law enforcement had made with his family. His father had reported him missing an hour prior to this, yet when the police went to search the home and went into Crooks' room, they found his bedroom door open and a metal ammo can with wires coming out of it at the threshold of his door. Also, there was a gallon jug of nitromethane in his closet, a restricted chemical used to make explosives. His parents had reported him missing an hour prior, yet didn't bother to peek in his open room door and notice these strange items. Crooks, a 20-year-old dietary nurse's aide with no military or tactical training, had manufactured several bombs with remote detonation capabilities and had them placed in his car at the rally. He had multiple cell phones, one of which was pinged as having traveled weeks before the attack from his home in Butler, PA, to the Grand Gallery building in Washington, D.C., which houses offices of the FBI. What was the purpose for this 260-mile road trip? Then there's Crooks' parents, Matthew and Mary. Both have quit their jobs and allegedly live like hermits in a small 3-bedroom house in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, only coming out in the wee hours of the morning to buy groceries. They have a high-profile law firm in Pittsburgh that represents them. There's no information on how they're supporting themselves and have refused all requests for interviews by the media, which is very strange. Usually people in this situation will give at least one high-profile interview to the media to clear up any confusion in the public eye. Journalist Doug Hagman and a 7-man team conducted interviews of over 100 people in Crooks' community and believes, through these interviews and analysis of geolocation data of tablets and phones that were in close proximity to Crooks, that Crooks did not act alone and was part of a larger criminal network. Crooks' phones were found to have multiple encrypted messaging apps from platforms based in Belgium, New Zealand, and Germany. Hagman says twice during his investigation he was personally escorted to the Butler County line by either federal agents or private security and told to leave and never come back. A journalist for the New York Post attempted to visit the apartment building of Crooks' sister, Katie, but was met at the door to the building by 2 older men who told the reporter that Katie did not want to be disturbed and that, quote, "the story is dead, remember that." There was no toxicology report done on Crooks during his autopsy, after which his body was released to his parents and it was promptly cremated. This whole situation stinks of an MK Ultra type conspiracy. For those that don't know, MK Ultra was a CIA program that developed out of Operation Paperclip, a US government program to recruit former Nazis, some of which had just been convicted of war crimes in the Nuremberg trials for torture and brainwashing. Ultra was code word in World War II to designate the most secret level of intelligence classification. The goals of MK Ultra were, among other things, to brainwash individuals to commit terrible acts and then have no memory of the event. This was the inspiration for the book and movie The Manchurian Candidate. Most records relating to MK Ultra were deliberately destroyed by the CIA in 1973 to prevent discovery by Congress and the Rockefeller Commission. Many people think, myself included, that Lee Harvey Oswald, who killed JFK, and Sirhan Sirhan, who allegedly killed his brother Bobby, were MK Ultra assets and programmed by their CIA handlers to do these killings. Early assets of MK Ultra came from the military, like Oswald. As the program went on, recruitment expanded to universities and other mental health institutions. Both of Thomas Matthew Crooks' parents were licensed therapists and had advanced degrees in the field of psychiatry. It's easy to connect the dots and see they could be CIA assets themselves, and offered up their youngest son as an unwitting participant. Allegedly, these brainwashing techniques work best when they start with a young victim and inflict severe trauma on them early. This type of trauma creates a condition known as dissociative personality disorder, which has been described by the CIA as the holy grail of brainwashing. Basically, it splits a person's psyche into two separate individuals, each having no knowledge or memory of the other. Kinda makes you not want to go to therapy, huh? At the very least, his parents, being mental health specialists, should have noticed something off with their son. I hope we get more answers soon, because something tells me there's more to find out about this guy.
Hello, my name is Thomas Crooks, and it has always been my passion to create and build things of my own.